Mubarak enra ehia semtwerefo e de nsem baako mienu etoto wo monim ne ade yekoso wo man mo. People even ask the question say the yekoso gradually won say adwasafo mo nsem ni nyina ne ade bebe na be fe mu the decision say ene ye hoto ye makwan ene ukitetu no a register dada yes sa registration na we nyina da process nyina ye twem e wo so oba ne ye hwehwe wa adwenam ne ade enra odi nkomo me be bon nkomo na mo wetie ye wia ye be hwese ye betumi adi nkomo a ne ya hwe wo mu a o ma register mu tuo dada no to go through this process yes see ye di mraba emra no and take the friend retrospective effects economy this cost the people who own arms in this country would have to bear going through a psychiatric check, going through whatever checks now one canon. Is it going to work? And I say it will be just a 9-day wonder. Yeah, can keke full keke sa. Yeah, behe. You go tie muntakaba. And woman me and send you or me percent many would dim home come. Baku the fact say enra me ko fie ni me hu mrantie bi a wo mu shatare green a o mu kire so mu fra assembly ho na eba na o mu tumi gina car say o mu check papers bi e wo car no as to which papers they are checking I don't know. Second the fact say as to whether the assembly even have that power to deploy people for them to act the way they are acting on the roads, no, it's also another thing. Me person here to me, what are they checking? Do they have the power to even stop a vehicle in the middle of the road? Say, some level of inspection, and is the assembly bylaws giving them that opportunity? In fact, the even in the Xmas time, some boys were no your friends said domi marketer no traffic said there be a car some parking no moon parko baby, and I think say it was allowable. But for them to be able to stop a vehicle in the middle of the road, say inspect certain document, minimum mrakura musa akwan momu yejuma. Another one, send MD can say kachire wono. Boss, issues relating to a contaminated fuel. See, the statement about Montaigne, but statement no about Montaigne. I want to ask, say, they should clarify, let us understand, because in seminar, ebubo ba yeba be shemu kina kan yi. Because you be and show be enim. We will not sweep anything under the carpet. I ask a simple question. As at the time, Pemu statements are more determined, yes, idea no, that when I contaminated, no, na ayatam bang. Most of they call lab, ko check your lab results, so no, when you publish the lab results on your website, near 3. Sound car na, Mudiba, car number GH. 8887-18. Now you say or no near this or year no buy no. Me person me bisa say sa vehicle no one dia. Why a dear? Who is the owner of that vehicle? Is it true that the owner of that vehicle is linked to a politician or what bemu enana? Put it, ye company kro nipa ye dia the time when we realize it say adie no na ye contaminated. Don't come and tell us ye hu ye ni ye yifrim tam ben ye yifrim. Tam ben ye yifrim. Is it true say safu ani be commontiama cars ahudo bia ya ma mo engine break yana? We will come and deal with the vest matters. Medebeko lankwantanai de ekosi wo ho ye bedi hu nkomo na afa me bie phone lines no na ye nyina yetumi edi nkomo. But for now, ye nkonko tie the Interior Minister Honorable Muntaka Mubarak ebra woni nsemtwerefo no atwetwe enkomo.
You guys Today, I address you at the conclusion of the gun amnesty program, a decisive national intervention declared on the 18th of November 2025, implemented from 1st December 2025 to 30th January 2026. This program represented a significant milestone in our collective commitment to curb the proliferation of illicit firearms and to strengthen peace, security, and public safety across our nation. Government initiated the gun amnesty program with a clear and urgent objective to confront the threats posed by unregistered and illicit firearms to lives, livelihood, and national development. At the same time, we recognize that sustainable security requires more than enforcement. It demands trust, dialogue, and provision of a lawful pathway conduct without fear. I'm pleased to report that this approach yielded meaningful results. A total of 4,038 unregistered firearms were surrendered to the Ghana Police. This outcome reflects the patriotism, responsibility, and civic commitment of Ghanaians who choose compliance over lawlessness. Indeed, the nation is safer today because of your actions to surrender those guns. On behalf of the government and His Excellency the President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, I extend sincere appreciation to our traditional authorities, religious and opinion leaders, civil society organizations, the media, and community groups. Your advocacy and engagement were instrumental in bringing this initiative into homes and communities across our country. Engagement with stakeholders. Government will continue its engagement with traditional authorities on the sensitive issue of firearms use during customary settings. Our objective is clear: to ensure that cultural practices are preserved while adhering strictly to safety and legal standards. This will include improved marking, tracing, and training for authorized ceremonial firearm users. We also call on licensed arms dealers to uphold the highest standards of professionalism and strict compliance with the law. Let it be known that any abuse of the licensing regime will attract decisive sanction. Ladies and gentlemen, the conclusion of the gun amnesty program marked not an end, but a transition from voluntary compliance to full and robust enforcement of the law. The amnesty was a temporary window of grace. That window is now closed. Registration processes are ongoing for individuals who declared firearms during the program. Support subjects to background checks, because you surrendered it, you are not arrested. Yes, some wanted to still have it, but we need to subject that to our own procedures. So we'll do the background check. You have to be trained to be sure that you are competent to handle the guns, and strict qualification criteria. So registration will not be automatic. With the expiration of the amnesty, security agencies will intensify intelligence-led operations, targeted searches and sweeps, surveillance of criminal networks. All illicit firearms will be confiscated, and offenders will face arrest and prosecution in accordance with the law. Additionally, an informant reward system will be activated to encourage citizens to provide credible information on illegal firearms. Government is also strengthening border control to combat the trafficking of illicit arms, ensuring a comprehensive and sustained response to the threat. Fellow citizens, the success of the gun amnesty program demonstrates that when given opportunity and information, Ghanaians will choose responsibility. However, sustaining this program demands continual vigilance and collective action. I urge all citizens to remain law-abiding, support security agencies with credible information, reject silence in the face of illegality. Peace is not mere the absence of conflict. It is the presence of safety, trust, and respect for human life. Ghana's future must not be compromised by illicit arms. Our children deserve classroom, not fear. Our communities deserve safety, not violence. As part of the post-amnesty measures, government will organize the 8th Armed Destruction Ceremony on Thursday, 9th of July 2026 at the Police Depot, Tesano, Accra at 10 a.m. At this event, over 2,000 seized and surrendered firearms will be destroyed. Let me also emphasize that the private security organizations are prohibited from possessing or using firearms in accordance with Regulation 13 of LI 1571. What we've noticed is that people come forward to register private security organization. We grant them the permission, then they take individuals within their organization to register firearms as though they are using it for self-protection. Then they ended up using them for the organization. No private security organization is allowed to operate with firearms. So you cannot use your personal arrangement that has been granted you for personal protection to now use it to operate the organization. That is infringing the law, and we will adhere to the law and enforce it very strictly. In conclusion, I want to commend all institutions and stakeholders whose dedication ensured the success of this program. As we move forward, let us consider these gains and renew our shared commitment to building a safer, more peaceful, and gun violence-free Ghana. Before I conclude, finally, let me also state that we have seen a new trend, very worrying and disturbing. The very affluent that come forward to register sidearms or firearms are now using them to commit suicide. In the last 2 months, we've seen increase in such individuals committing suicide with firearms that are registered. Because of that, from this afternoon, all permits that have been granted to any individual that you are holding a sidearm or firearm is hereby revoked. We are revoking that, and we are opening a window where everyone will have to come forward again to register or to re-register the gun, because we've changed the procedure. We've realized that there's a short gap in the registration procedure that we'll be using. Some will say that why not wait till December? In 6 months, we could still save a lot more life. We've seen that people with mental health have already gone through and have the sidearm. Now we are introducing mental health. Before we give you the sidearm, we have to be sure that you have the mental stability to hold the firearms. We've also realized that people who are on drugs are also holding the arms, and they are legitimate because it's been registered. Now you have to go through drug tests to be sure that you are not on drugs before you can hold sidearms. And lastly, many of us have the guns, we don't even know how to use it. And sometimes accidentally in the house, we've seen those incidents where innocent persons are either injured or even killed. Not because it's deliberate, because the person who is handling these guns himself is not trained, but he has the license. And this is the reason why we are trying to correct. So we are freezing on all federal registration until at least we go through these 3 steps. We are activating all our regional offices. The police has 25 regions. Even though we have 16 political regions, the police has 25 regions. And we are going to make it possible that in all the 25 regions, the police can train to ascertain that you know how to use the firearm before we go ahead to grant you the license. Aside that, we are also opening up to partner private organizations that may want to set up shooting ranges, that the police will look through and certify that it is fit for purpose, so that we can grant them license, so that they can also assist to make it easier for those who really want to comply to be able to have places where they can have the training. But we have also activated the Narcotics Control Commission. They also have offices across our regions. To be in charge of the drug tests, they will do the drug tests to ascertain that the individuals are not on drugs. In much the same way, we're also using the Mental Health Authority to be the sole agency that will be in charge of the mental health. And we are putting all these measures in place just to make sure that we increase public safety and all of us being safe. Because even the last weekend, some of the guns that we all saw that were frightening, interestingly, some of them were registered. So they were legitimately registered, but used for the wrong actions. So because of this, we want the public to cooperate with the police, to bear with us. It is better to have some of these inconveniences and keep all of us safe than to be talking about your individual or my individual convenience at the risk of public safety. So I want to thank all of you for this audience. May God continue to bless our homeland Ghana and continue to make it great and strong. Thank you so much.
And Jebusiani Paotin can the Honorable Minister in charge of Interior, Honorable Montaka, and Wotin can say, Wodin Komonafi, what's saying? And normal Hodua within the Ministry of Interior, especially when it comes to the gun amnesty. And if I Hodua much me a year, true no Eddie Efri or Munsem. Na the woman ye true no e baba be na baby a enkrofo ebisa question and say wo mo amukite true no dada a wo kasa saafo nyina wo say wo mo san mo chi number register mo true no wo mo nkoye psychiatric test ne yen hweso mo kro mo adwene mu no Eda ofan a empo ansa ne yama okwan ama wo yusu wotuo no. Is it a 9-day wonder? And it is something a ebetumi aye adwuma ewo Ghana. Because me medical akwa register me tuo dada. Na ma register tuo no ewie. Aye tuo no wo me ho ewie no wo se me nko na afa me nko ye a test, or because ebi esu say nipa yi ebi anana adwene mu kura no ebi ana kan. Let's even admit say nipa no kura na adwene mu kan. The fact say enemako na makwa test no na sa ade eba chi na ma adwene mu kan ye say bi enemakwa test ye say o bibia demu boko. Bibia demu boko no magina bibia demu boko no emom the lances na mame but ade chin no there have been a realization so we be 3 days 1 week later adwin no kura say what happens. So people say it will be a 9-day wonder, possibly even a policy no and said that mean who am be. Because when it comes to psychological issues, when it comes to mental issues, I say, oh, register, I can say, ghost names or voter register. Because I don't be registered, you and Nana, Nipano register, you know, we. And you know, bending. Well, in your penny for na, na fi ababe boyana, omoyano. Na more Pantan village near the ade enra Lan Kwantanai MC etuanamon na otuanamon no wobaya ba bia nsuo efa esa ne se wo hwa boko bi ne mpatem nsuo efa ho no efa ho enka ho nko a etre di ba ono so ne siem. Enti wo tackle problem na nyesa wo tackle hu kwa wo de no because baby afri ba no so ka ho. Enti enu a wo de nani kirebu ewo your friend saying Pantan village ho. Now koko do ho no. Ade ba ko a asefem ehunye. Ohun se nipa hudo na sisi omodan ebi atwitwa fence wall ne ade no si ade we hayi ewo nsuo no pe na ade yi wo. Ensuo no se ebufa ho enwure mu ho no na atumi chichi nsuo no gi nsuo. Wususu wa ba besi dan yesu o atu fence wall so be ya so no se ne ha. Who say man no dey also be dwiri ni nyina egu. Na sa opani ni ye na adwi so be dwiri ni egu no papa bi e ho se ono o ya sori wura. O se ono nantwie hudu a wakum ono nya nantwie kitwa. Ba yesi hwirama ya da na esane wura no. Yentie de ekoso ewo eho enra. Ebra woko na okoye na adwi se edan egu ono obebubu eho. Yenfa amaminka hunzu say omo frefi Pantan village and all the time they will tell you say oh when na nsuo no and nkrofo sisi dancing nsuo ho and ade bebrebe wakoso kwakobubu bolos mi hu say bia bolos de makobu dia but yenti no me continue mosquito fier me la me kuna jema kuma ko 32.
And you can do your video, but not more dim.
Enti mo amuhwe video ni din a mame fasira na ma that news on e twa wo bebesi afa Sofia so de kwakobo obi tim esense ba bia oni ne kunu esi dan no empenifo se anya de ya de papa Oza ukwazo ye fenze ya mosia na egu no obi ba besi. Ente mu de ye nyam. Na munya de mu pe. Ekwa be fa so aha obi kura de emfa mu. Tie.
Can you beat your mother? Did your mother taught you to beat people?
Enti nkoda nkete sofo ne ma ana je se omo task force for no e de esi ani no enti ekoso na we nsem we ekoso na ekoso se ya ana ekoba ne se ensentrofo ene MC ya otu sa na mon we edi nkomo ana wo be kire mu se na tie di MC ne kan carefully honorable file and
have any permit. That is why we even, in fact, they even made someone call me from Jubilee House. But I told the person, my brother, you put me here to ensure the right things have been done. And that is what I'm doing. If you want me to leave it, fine, I can leave it for your directives. But then I will please beg you, come one day and have a look. When you view it yourself, you would now tell me, Filer, go back and do your demolition. Per what we are doing, because we are the same authority who grant them the permit. But in this case, no one has been granted a permit. We will not grant them any permit again. So I don't think somebody will take on his own volition to come and just put a structure. The moment you start, this time around, we have the weekend patrols. The moment you start it, even if it's Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, we will ensure we'll bring it to ground zero. So far, we are chasing for 2 people. In fact, they are also running because they realize the Medina police and the Delta police are chasing for them. So they are also running. They send people to come and talk to me. It's not about me, but it's about a life being lost. How would you feel if it's your sister or your brother or your somebody who lost just because of somebody's negligence, somebody's indiscipline? We shouldn't entertain this. I think we have to kill it in once and for all.
Enti, Honorable Fowler, say, Ejuma Odi Kurano, and Crawford of Friend Free Jubilee House you. And Crawford of Friend Free Jubilee House. Na, Okojina Dai bi hua, Adane Fepa.
How can you build such a nice building? You come and waste your money on this, how do you call it, wetland. So they should write it. Later they should write it. We'll break it down. We'll go and continue with the other ones. We can't allow such things to continue. But we are fighting for the water banks, not about Gaist or Adenta or Abukubi. I want him to end before.
Because there's someone in the house.
It doesn't make sense, bruh.
Enti, Honorable Fowler, oh no, MC, our Lankwanta 9, and I was saying and come. Now, assemble for me, okay, in that interview, Mesa Boam with you. And me person would see any year because that would be the crux of my argument this morning. Setien.
Have any permit. That is why we even, in fact, they even made someone call me from Jubilee House. But I told the person, my brother, you put me here to ensure the right things have been done. And that is what I'm doing. If you want me to leave it, fine, I can leave it for your directives. But then I will please beg you, come one day and have a look. When you view it yourself, you would now tell me, Fowler, go back and do your demolition per what we are doing, because we are the same authority who grant them the permit. But in this case, no one has been granted a permit. We will not grant them any permit again. So I don't think somebody will take on his own volition to come and just put a structure. The moment you start, this time around, we have the weekend patrols. The moment you start it, even if it's Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, we'll ensure we'll bring it to ground zero. So far, we are chasing for 2 people. In fact, they are also running because they realize the Medina police and the Delta police are chasing for them. So they are also running. They send people to come and talk to me. It's not about me, but it's about a life being lost. How would you feel if it's your sister or your brother or your somebody who lost just because of somebody's negligence, somebody's indiscipline? We shouldn't entertain this. I think we have to kill it in once and for all.
Enti, the MC has said it all. Papaya Modi can't say in Kenya was so no okun Nenche Maku be 30 something. File a mayati yes, Obi friend from the Jubilee House. And a Nipana Sama walk from the Jubilee House, no, was to tell him, say, I didn't know who you and Jai. Nipa no free Jubilee House receive you or Jubilee House is show to enfano. Because of politics, file our own modin. But whoever call from the Jubilee House should bow your head. I tell you on, right? The air cost so ever you kroma. Emma nipa bi antumi nye we jumano. It is because nipa bi a war president no ho a sebi wo adufodi pe. Ane man no ma bi say ye koso. Adufodi pe Missy edufudi pe ene masa no ma we say bi etumi koso. Ena me koje na se dun ketefe ena me kum nantwe maako 32 nti yenya odan. Enti wuku nantwe maako 32 nti yemma ukwan ne kosi dan fa si nsuo nim. Na se nsuo no bu fa so afa nipa hodo bebrebe ana. And I love the way Fila is going about the whole thing. So, yeah, guy is MC in the wada. Why you not going to say, Sad Dine gu wonina? Obi a friend from Jubilee House, and your guy is our friend, Kitchu Biana, Yem, because on Mangas or two and a wound you on it. Was say adiena me di menye hu wahano sa wo kasa menya ya because di me si wo say de anya no na membra na membe ye ni enti sa me ye ni ye na wo say menya ya. I will stop it on your directive, but common sense says that you use for weni ankasa bra ne behwe na sa wo di weni behwe wie ya wo na obeka nse won sa na chinko ya demolition enti nipa ne di anua ne ebu aba begu o obesi dan ye gu afuro nim na nsuo to a eyiri aba ho. And in short, to a year baby into Jubilee is no friend, one him answer. Jubilee House need no friend, you know, what friend filer because under no circumstance will file oh, yeah, this is your can't buy you. Ebeka say, ya friend me say me nyai, and I may catch a nipa and assume a son or bintin. Nipa no friends when your interest near the end. The interest potty, a the end. Media may come. Meka. Samuti Jubilee House one. And she far this now wait that was said. Ube caught near to the whole community in share form and away Nippon or Jubilee House no offer say yenya demolition in waterways no one kasa sebi we shene o ye bonidi na ke hu na obon se sanipa ko na adwene na kakakra. I saw there's something wrong upstairs. There is something wrong upstairs. You see the reason why politicians so you're so full, so you're DN was so a ye BB. Well, no, Okumnenche Eddie my NDC party ninti was in dying as in shum. Authority is idea we and enya de papa also me sponsor party no. Me kunenche makuma kutete tu. Ente munya me na menyo. Na ni ide afa Sofia odi ko bo bitrim. Hwe? Waba site oba be si dan si afro nim. Yenya no no wonye because okun nantwe makoma ko 32 dia boy ndi si aban. I mean dealing with my last issue and son am be phone lines in the amount. I don't worry boy me enra me pon adwuma na me kofie. Na mo use domi market no mo se mo be kai a as much time no assemble ni deploy boys bi a mo se green no ma se boot bi no mo gina kwa no mo direct traffic na ma baby a was wo park one park wo yi a na iso mo yi we free ho no ma chiro baby cross so kokko park ni ajade enti easy a bit of the nuisance aye nim e okwan no so easy enra Enwa mehunu bibi abrante ye wa hunu ayo wo gina kan ne hu was a green na ze wo free assembly ho na eba this guy is Now obedu one who original driver no in the middle of the road. As it or inspect certain document from the driver. Now it took the guy 5 minutes because I was just now me to what me share. Now me bisa say on what authority will a city guard stop a vehicle in the middle of the road to inspect documents? Are they inspecting? Read bylaws within the assembly and a city guard so bet me a car so inspected a document. Munkan say the airline now a regulated transportation ewo omanyi em. I infer the na city guard the airline capture city guard for in this a. And you may see any time money the board driver for po because watching the or inspecting document and so no not driver because me teenage you know driver no so you na just no oni akwan be kon pepepe into beside na die na driver na yaman wo anu akohwe car ni number no aba no ahwe driver ni nim na na edien pa and all the guy was looking for say driver ni be money bibi na afi oko. And that is what God is. Say MC in a deploy more say directive no amount then let them know that it is against the laws. It is against the law of this state. The airline no, it does not provide anything like this. Near tete driver for kwansu keke kwa. If you are looking for revenue mobilization, put your brains to the book and make sure say, "Oh, the baby by to me amount revenue." But to deploy city guards or now to stopping a driver in the middle of the road, say, or inspecting the end, say, "Me do not want to Me do not want. I don't get it." And ye jamu no bugu kwan so na sebi ewuru sebi enya do ensem hunu and ye didi no kwan so. Now hear me for ya sise ntade ne ye ni nam krom instead of say adwuma na importe na nkwose ye be ye no ye nye na a driver for ne yate omani asi omo so driver ni na me de say me hin say wo ekwan ni mu no agina driver no kwan ni mu no wa chi traffic ne no ni oh nye say o chake hwe wo pesika na every driver ni wo driver no no ahin na oje awo babaji skefri ni ho dran you know no transportation ahin na oje every passenger no. I know the got off well, like I says, I know going so, and you be a mate, and you crack up again. Near Gumni, a titty almost I had. And guys, you need to call your boys to order disease. It's against the law, disease. Near the air. Obi aba bibia nya no apɛ boys de agum no na munyina mu na mu ɛdeɛ Emra be na kyerɛ sɛ a city guard ebetumi stop a vehicle in the middle of the road one car. Emra be na say you can order a driver to produce a document one dia why Emra be Woman no maybe cry he woman and woman be he cry do Adi emra be na ma ho kwan se saafo yi o metue gyina kwan ho agigi sika wo bi ho anase e ka se ye inspect document kura. Now even within the airline, police was so obey inspect driver's license as a D&D. It should be within certain level of the police inspector for that matter. Se said ye, Emran yesin it yes ye the ama city guard. Ama city guard the Jinan car in the middle of the road. So I inspect bibi on her. Oh yeah, driver would see me chifa no sooner. Because I'm not anywhere massacre. Why do you know when you know? Among no matter mra, a man musa it's saying on Uber to make us produce a document. I'm saying they should tell us. They should. Our bylaws no man setting. They should come and tell us if only if it doesn't conflict with the original laws we have in Ghana. I don't know. We yank and 1 year jam now we are near until we are uncle for driver for complaint and I am a phone on Mutio and Jedebia and watching was when you would just can everyone ya be beer 5 city 10 city woody man and no call. And because the driver no on person be wasting the time passengers go can or contema banti 1 ma 5 city no 10 city now babaji one and be delay no and it is not because the driver is wrong but because of say oh se be ebru se be nya da adwen boni na wo tim scan na wo pe chrono fita na person bono enti oh say ono ni 5 city or the be ma wo be wasting the time or the be ma no akoni baby no akoye na adwuma not because the driver is wrong. But because we are building a certain system, it is making it as though say, all the time a driver ought to be wrong no matter what the case may be. Are they? Oh. Sometimes we've been in one year. No, it's say, and to a mania ye team. Yede tumi kakra mo bia otumi ye de opabia na tumi kakra yi otumi ye de opabia o sidan wo nsuom o koka bu emikum na ntwe 32 nti yenya na sidan si nsuom Pantan village my bubu dani de gu bubu ni nyina gu because atifa so e fa nkrofo japade nkrofo su bi kura ntumi nkomo fie eku nipa no na me se wo hwe the last video na ekwan e fa so eko papa ni fie ho dan na o masie no ekwan e fa so ko no kura eye edua bi na esi so edua na che se NC ni kura o fa dua ne so kura no wo se suro because insu kase da fie nani mu pa bebia gate no wo no afie nani mu last video no baby abodi dua ni se no afie nanimu pe wo afie nanimu pe wo hwe afie nanimu ensure kase baby waterway kase pa eda afie nanimu enti one cross waterway na wontumi nwura afie nim wa look ana esisu enti wei sadie ni yesi yenyai because ebia no ye pani bi ana oni mpeni bi njema no kwa no nsi dan mfansi ho na nsuo to a ade hyegu wo nyina mre because wa fro bi from Jubilee House awuja yenye ehwe duro o man mu yenye ehwe duro o man mu because wo man no se be ye afrimene bu Oman se be ya efriminu mesi hwe bridge hwe ensue da efie nanim na hwe nsamso esamso ankrofo nam eba enti baba no nju oba no ogina no wa faso no okoni fie ho why are we doing these things to ourselves? Because obi ato asase na ma no se bi jejentwie bi wato asase no ono so kwakoto asase no wanhunu yeze wanya ne fufule nti obeto o sinintem aban ba no wasie wie wontumi mbu no ene ye nemu